everyone, Gaijin Goombah here. So, not that long ago, we put together a video talking about how good old Samurai Jack wasn't so much a samurai, but how that made him an even better character, and props to you guys, I was expecting some next level hate from that.
Instead though, we were buried under a question I honestly didn't expect. What about Aku? Granted, this shouldn't have surprised us as much as it did. After all, I can't remember a single character hitting this level of memedom since Harambe exactly a year ago.
And I admit, as someone who actually grew up with Samurai Jack on Cartoon Network back in the day, I always kinda liked Aku, though I was never really sure why. But upon the request of hundreds of you guys, I decided to go back and really take a hard look at what really inspired the Shogun of Sorrow. And suffice to say, my final theory really has me suspicious on just how involved culture was to Aku's inception. But let's start things off simple. Aku's name.
Last video we made the joke that in retrospect, Aku's name really wasn't all that original. I mean, it just literally means evil, and in reality, for a while that's pretty much all he was. A villain who did villainous things because he's evil.
Once again, I am free to smite the world as I did in days long past.
Right? I mean, it's the old 80s problem of having villains be transparently evil because three-dimensional antagonists were too complicated for children.
Perhaps my story is too complex for these young minds.
And Aku was no exception. He constantly trounced around talking about smiting the world and gave himself a long list of I am evil names.
Who dares to summon the Master of Masters, the Deliverer of Darkness, the Shogun of Sorrow, Aku?
Given his design, name, and general disposition to his goals and accomplishments, Aku was lining up to be yet another mid-90s snorefest villain who was bad because someone had to. Then the season finale came. For those of you that haven't seen it, the final episode of season 1 has Aku trying to re-establish his dominance over the next generation who began to show signs of rebelling against him. Word of Jack and his accomplishments began spreading like crazy within Aku's dominion, and it began to inspire courage to rise up and overthrow Aku.
So what did the shape-shifting Master of Darkness, who has already shown unrelenting cruelty to those that oppose him, do to showcase his superiority? Maybe destroy a city, force the children into hard labor camps, heck, maybe even crush the children's families. He's Aku, literally evil. What does he care?
He, reads them propaganda nursery rhymes.
What?
I'm not even joking. The Deliverer of Darkness, the Shogun of Sorrow, the great and powerful evil overlord Aku, tries using this as a re-educational tactic. This is when I knew, even as a kid, something was up. Aku was more than just another evil for evil's sake villain. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was still really evil, but there was something more to him, something relatable. And as the seasons progressed, it became more and more apparent. Aku was still a selfish evil bastard who wanted to rule everything he surveyed, but at the same time, there were times we sympathized with him because of the more human emotions that he displayed.
And it sure didn't slow down in season 5. Over a decade since we last saw him, Aku was still displaying relatable, if not completely hilarious aspects of everyday life that we can relate to through the lens of a corny cartoon villain.
This is where the other half of my original brushover with Aku in the last video comes into play. His face. Aku has one of the most iconic designs when it comes to 90s cartoon villains. A green face with two massive flaming eyebrows, the long antler-like horns, a stumpy nose, a near consistent half-open mouth rounded at the ends, revealing 4 extra long overlapping fangs. He was unmistakable. Now, I hate to get insanely weeaboo on you guys, but Aku's face is literally the spitting image of the Japanese no-theater mask known as the Hannya mask. Named so after the artist and monk Hannya who perfected its design. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen this mask before. From animated video games, the unique appearance of the 4-fanged, long-horned, beady-eyed, wide-mouthed mask has made its round in Japanese-inspired media for years now. And while in some cases it's an obvious aesthetic choice for villainous or shady characters, for Aku, I think there's more going on here.
How so?
Well, if you know anything about these masks, you know that they're typically used to symbolize women who have become corrupt to the point of becoming demons, but they've also been used to represent an exposed demon who had been using the illusionary form of a woman to hide its identity.
Wait, in episode 6, Jack and the Warrior Woman, Aku did the exact same thing under the guise of Ikra, tricking Jack into leading him into the hidden time portal so he could destroy it.
Exactly.
So, wait, are you saying that the entirety of Aku's design was based on a season 1 plot twist?
Oh, of course not. Granted, it's a really interesting coincidence to say the least, but when it comes to Aku and his possible ties to no drama, I think there's something much bigger.
Like what?
One of the things that I've learned through Matthew Meyer's incredible catalog of yokai is that Hannya demons don't just come out of thin air. It's a very, very slow process of transformation involving 3 different forms. The first form, the Namanari Hannya, are demonic women who still predominantly have their human features. They may have small horns or fangs, but they still look human. And they're not completely evil either, they can actually be redeemed back into human form. But as they continue to brood or use dark arts, they move to the second form, the Chunari Hannya. Their horns, fangs, and claws become even more pronounced, and they gain the ability to shapeshift between demon and human form. But Buddhist prayer can still ward them off. However, in their last phase, the Honnari Hannya, their jealousy and greed run so deep that there is no return. Their bodies become slithery and serpentine and possess the ability to breathe fire. They've given so far into their jealousy, hate, and greed that they are forever transformed. And doesn't that sound familiar?
Holy crap, you're right. Not only have we seen Aku's ability to shapeshift, but he uses tendrils to attack and, well, dang, there's that fire breath. So wait, does that mean that theoretically speaking, Aku was actually human at one point and originally a woman?
I don't know, but even still, that's not the only thing I discovered about Aku's possible cultural origins. While the Hannya mask does represent a woman gone demon, the uses of the mask in Japanese drama are far, far more complicated than simply personifying evil. Hannya masks represent a wide range of emotions: joy, rage, fear, pain, sorrow, heartbreak, and torment, but all done so in very small, minute ways. For example, when seen front-facing, the mask looks terrifying or even happy, and the actor can convey such an emotion. But when tilted down or held to the side, the mask looks as if it's sad, maybe even crying. The gambit of emotions that the actor can portray by simply adjusting the position of the mask is what's given it such an incredible reputation in Japanese theater. And due to the mask's incredible emotional versatility, it's become one of the most iconic symbols of both Noh and Kabuki, used in tragic stories such as Ao no Ue in The Tale of Genji, Jojoji, Kurozuka, and Momichigari. All of these stories tell tales of characters who fall prey to their anger and jealousy, thus becoming demons, but the audience still sympathizes with them in their sadness and circumstances. Now, don't quote me on this as truth, because honestly, only Gindi himself would be able to confirm this. But I can't help but think that there was more to choosing the Hannya mask as Aku's primary design than simple coincidence. Just like the Hannya demons of Noh and Kabuki, Aku was a character that clearly gave in to his hunger, malice, and jealousy and had to be stopped. But at the same time, it was really hard not to sympathize with the guy. Granted, he never really showed any signs of becoming good, but he was still in a way human, just like how the Hannya, though demons, had traces of their humanity left. It makes for not only a good story, but a good character that the audience can sympathize and even relate to.
I mean, come on, he may have enslaved the entire Earth, but who could hate a face like this?
But thanks for watching, everyone. This actually isn't the first time I talked about the Hannya mask, and if you missed my highly controversial take on Genji's Oni skin in Overwatch, go check that out. There's actually a lot more to cover. But if you want to stay up to date on all of my newest cultural theory videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell to never miss out on a new video. But until next time, everyone, this is Gaijin Goombah signing out.